Welcome back to the home stretch. During the week, there was the awards for farmers, I would say, or those who are in the agricultural sector, those who are providing food for all of us. And it was time to recognize some of them, their efforts, and make them, perhaps, ginger them to do more.
Ginger their swagger.
Yes, to do more. So we have in the studio this morning the Director General, Nigeria Agriculture Awards Secretariat, who is also the CEO, Agro Nigeria, Mr. Richard Mark Mbram. Thank you so much for being here this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, you gathered, I call them farmers. I don't know. You want to tell us, why the awards?
Okay, fine. We did gather, stakeholders in the agricultural sector. They transcend farmers, big businesses, processors, industry players. But basically, the one single thread that connected all of them is the fact that they are players in the agricultural sector. And we felt it was necessary to have them together to celebrate their achievements. The agricultural sector of the Nigerian economy has come of age without a doubt. We no longer are seeing agriculture from the standpoint of a welfare case. Agriculture is now a business. People are thriving on it. It used to be the best kept secret. Now we're taking the lead off and ensuring that the genie is out of the bottle. That's basically it. The Nigeria Agricultural Awards for us is more like saying that we need to, the larger polity needs to begin to look at agriculture differently. Not just the players in the sector. The man on the streets. You ask him about specific activities in the sector that really affect farmers. Sometimes he just waves it away by just giving you a green or two. But you find that what happens to the farmer affects him critically, particularly in terms of what transpires on his dining table. So we have more or less changed that narrative, changed it by our effort, but also harping on what has transpired in the last 4 years in the sector. You can't take it away from the players or the stakeholders. It has been transformational. The change there has been really, really emphatic. When we were looking at agriculture as at 2007, 2008, it isn't the same as it is today. I was in Netherlands.
What has changed?
Now, the productivity in itself has changed. All right, farmers have been able to receive a measure of subsidy from the government over a stretch of time, and that has improved their productivity. All right, we are not just talking about Nigerian opinion here. Like I said, I was in The Hague recently, and the Dutch guys, Dutch agribusinesses, they said, look, we know your country has reformed, and we want to be part of it. We want a stake in it, and we want it not just for the short term, we want it for the long term. I happen to have also been involved with Informa Group. Informa Group is about the biggest conferencing and exhibition company in the world. In fact, they struck the chord, the rhythm for the Nigeria Agricultural Awards, because when they came in, they said, look, this market is beginning to blow up. We've been in this business for years. We know how to pick the indicators. Nigeria is really, really on
our economy is gradually getting towards that point of really, really being diversified. When you
say that, there's still a lot of work to be done. We're not, close to El Dorado by any stretch of, the imagination.
But we're on course.
But we're on course.
Okay, because we're really trying to manage time and then give you enough time to share some of your thoughts. Names, you had some prominent people that got awards, right?
No, we sure did.
So
can you just mention some of them and why you picked them?
Okay, cool. We had the governor of Kano State. Okay, Kano State for us basically stands out as a clear example of the response of a government to a critical need of farmers or the sector. They had a tuta absoluta outbreak in the country a few months back, okay, really ravaging tomato, crops. And we, as a result of that, had to have some meetings across the country. Kano was chosen as one of those locations. By force of that meeting, we came up with, or rather the stakeholders came up with clear expectations that they had drawn out for the government. Before you could say Jack, the government had constituted a panel to look into the problem. Before you could know, what was happening, a robust response mechanism had been put in place.
And when you finally said Jack?
When it happened, I mean, the farmers are, in Kano, the farmers are smiling as we speak, all right? The investment of, for instance, Alhaji Sani Dangote in tomato is mammoth. He's one of the recipients. He's the investor of the year. It's profound. It is huge. Okay, tomato processing has always been a problem because the shelf life of tomato is very, very short. Farmers have so much glut on their hands when it's the season, and so you want to be able to offtake from them effectively and ensure that it's processed into paste and other, usable industrially usable, components. Now the thing is, for that to have happened by force of one man's investment, we felt the need to recognize that. You're going to talk about the Kumu Oil Palm Company, for instance. I mean, the CSR award was given to them. You want to get to Benin, or Edo State rather, to see the extent of, outreach in terms of assistance to communities that border them that this company has undertaken. The communities are really, really wowed and taken aback by even the kind of investments that they've seen. You want to talk about IFAD, for instance, who came up with the Development Partner Award. This is a development partner that has so invested in Nigeria to ensure that, for instance, the financial inclusion problems that we've been having, I mean,
okay.
If I may come in,
I could go on and on.
No. You had a town hall meeting across the country.
Sure.
You've mentioned some notable names here that invested in agriculture and all of that. And I do know that sometimes we've had people, whenever we're talking agriculture on any of our shows, people sending messages in, what's happening to the local farmer? I mean, how much is the local farmer being impacted? I want to believe that was part of your town hall meeting. Tell us about the town hall meeting.
Like I said, what spurred it was the Tuta Absoluta crisis. Down south, we were feeling like tomato isn't available because it's the Ramadan fast. People are not going to farms. And all of a sudden, the feedback we were getting from our colleagues up north was that, look, this is happening. People are dying. People are committing suicide. People are running mad because of the pace even of the pests in question. Tuta Absoluta ravages your farm, your tomato plantings in 48 hours max. All right? So we just realized that there was no mechanism for response at the time. So we needed to at least do the bit we can by raising awareness. So we moved into Kano. By the time we saw the response of stakeholders, the way they were gasping. It's like people who were gasping for air and all of a sudden they have an opportunity to breathe, So they were ventilating these views as to how, okay, good, we've had it well in the last 3 to 4 years. Okay, all of a sudden we find ourselves we're at sea. There's really no help. So we having seen that, we moved into other geopolitical zones. Of course, we did Enugu, all right, which is in the southeast. We did Ilorin, which is in the north central. We also did Benin, which is in the south, and we did Ibadan, which is in the southwest. We didn't go to the northeast because of the realities there. But what we found, or the response of stakeholders across board, is that the ATA, the Agricultural Transformation Agenda of the immediate past government, had impacted them, all right? And they looked forward to having this policy reform, sustained, invigorated maybe, okay, appraised to know if it's, areas where it could be tinkered with, but on the whole, that it needed to be sustained. And I must remind you, please, that this didn't just fall from the sky. It was as a result of the intense hard work of a set of people led by, the current Africa Development Bank president, Dr. Aki Adesina, who, I mean, to all intents and purposes, is still driving things at the continental level. I was in Dakar, for the high-level conference on agriculture put together by the AFDB, and Macky Sall, the president of Senegal, literally paid tribute to him. And, I mean, across of Africa, so many
Okay,
other
so
countries
that will mean that a lot has been done in the agricultural
so
sector. And what other critical areas do you think, the policy thrust should face when it comes to agriculture?
Okay.
Quickly, please.
Now, this is important. You want to see that a lot's been done, yes. But you want to also look at the environment that even that had happened. That's why you even give credit to the individuals who were able to make it happen. We want to see a situation where the environment becomes truly enabling for growth, okay, and productivity in the sector. So, for instance, we want to see research institutes and agricultural research as a whole, okay, being funded. We want to see government even showing responsibility by rising to the occasion and funding agriculture to the extent of 10%, which it has committed to in 2003 under the Maputo, Accord. All right, we want to see that happen in literal terms. We don't want to be told about it. We want to practically see it happen. Financing to the sector. Agriculture is a sector that really, really needs robust financing, not apart from fiscal financing. We're looking at the ability of players in the sector to be able to access, loans and all of the other, financial.
And with the reduction of the NPR from 13 to 11, is there any way it's going to help?
Okay, now the key thing is, on a whole, okay, it's an economic question, all right? But agriculture is just a segment of it. Focus every other aspect of the Nigerian economy in a manner that it, centrally galvanizes agriculture's productivity. I'll give you an instance. I am sorry, but I need to push this. Ethiopia, all right? There was a presentation I just heard. It was simple and straightforward. They said, look, we address issues regarding agriculture from the standpoint of common sense. What can work? You don't need rocket science. If you identify it, push it. Away with the days when we say we're going to Kano from Lagos and then we plot the trajectory towards Port Harcourt. All right, let's be sincere with ourselves. You have an economy that needs to diversify. Agriculture provides you the one silver bullet. I beg to be corrected. Or I stand to be corrected rather. The one silver bullet that you need, okay, to move this economy forward.
Yeah, and since we're talking about diversification, agriculture is one of the ways to go.
You're so sure on target there.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning. We've been having a chat with the CEO, Agro Nigeria, and who is also the Director General, Nigeria Agriculture Awards Secretariat, Mr. Richard Mark Mbaram. Did I call that well?
Very correct.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning.
Thank you for having me.